Yes, good evening. My name is Wallace Gator Bradley, and I'm the president of United in Peace, Inc. Tonight, I want to share some thoughts with the viewing audience. But first off, I want to let you know how you can get in touch with me. United in Peace is an organization that believes in stopping senseless violence within the city of Chicago and around the country. As you know, in 2016, there's been 780 homicides, more than 4,300 shootings. Now, with President Trump coming into office January the 20th, a lot of people are wondering what is he going to do to help Mayor Rahm Emanuel to help stop the senseless violence in the city of Chicago. One of the things I would like to share with my viewing audience, that you have a chance to call in and ask me questions or make statements by calling 312-738-1060. Again, that phone number is 312-738-1060. I know there's a lot of attention on the 4 young adults that end up torturing another young adult. But I want to stay focused on public safety in the city of Chicago and how myself and my organization, United in Peace, Inc., can become a part of the major plan to help stop this senseless violence. If you have any questions or any statements, please call in and share your thoughts with me as I share mine with you. I see that Rahm Emanuel and the superintendent of police, Johnson, and especially Superintendent Johnson, always make reference to the fact of this list of 1,400 individuals who may be victims of violence or who may be the ones that create the violence. What I mean by that, he has a list that deals with 1,400 individuals, and it's a database based on the fact if they ever been arrested for a pistol or they ever been arrested for shooting someone and they were released. The 780 shootings that happened in 2016, I've heard Superintendent Johnson say that 80% of the 4,300 people who were shot, inclusive of the 780 people, I said that I have our caller, so let me take time out to hear the question of the statement from the caller.
Hi, my name is Terry. I'm calling in. I have 3 boys that I've raised in the city of Chicago, in urban Chicago, and I know that what I feel is absent in stopping the violence is certainly parental input. I think that the city is certainly trying to police this issue away, and I don't think that that's necessarily possible without being connected to the community. I think every voice is important, and so I think that the mayor has a duty to certainly open the lines of communication with just everyday people to get their input in what is happening on every city block, because they are certainly the eyes and ears of what's going on in the communities.
Thank you, Terry. I agree with you. The parents do have a lot to say about it. One of the things I believe, and it's just my opinion, a lot of parents are aware of what their children are doing. There's a lot of parents that may be capitalizing off of the illegal gains from the actions of their children. And what I mean by that, a lot of the parents their children, because of their illicit activity, may be the ones that's paying the rent, may be the ones that's paying the cable bill, getting their nails done or getting their hair done. But at the same time, they also hearing from the parents are also hearing from their neighbors when their neighbors are telling them that their child is the one that's responsible for someone down the street getting shot and then coming back and sitting on their porch. And therefore, when there's any retaliation from the individual who was shot, they come back and they spray the whole block because of the wrong things that their child has done. And what I mean by that, a lot of the children that's doing wrong or the young adults that's doing wrong, the first thing they do, they go on to Facebook or YouTube and they show that they standing with automatic weapons threatening individuals' lives, what we call cyber gangbanging. They have tattoos around their neck saying that they're destined to die because they believe in killing someone, and the parents see this and they know this, and yet, again, this is just my opinion, yet they don't tell their child that there's a consequence to their actions and that you're being judged by what you do as well as to whomever you may do the wrong to. I'm speaking because I once was a gangbanger, and I knew that I had to change my ways. And people hear me talk about Larry Hoover a lot. Well, Larry Hoover had a vision that says going from a negative to a positive. And what that meant was we had to think about the future of our children. United Peace Inc. has been in existence for over 20 years. I don't advocate gang banging, but I do believe that those that are engaged should be allowed to change their life around, and their actions speak louder than words. I know Donald Trump is talking about coming in and changing the climate of the senseless violence in our communities. I just pray that he don't make the same mistakes that Bill Clinton made when Bill Clinton came in to stop the senseless violence that was happening in the 90s. We're seeing the cause and effect from the actions that he did because the community was tired and fed up of the crack wars. Crack was the cocaine, the red-tailed rocks as they call them, that created gang violence and drug wars. I do believe that individuals that's involved in senseless shootings and killings, raping women and children, disrespecting and robbing elders, they really have no place within our community. Within the last year, 2016, there has been more than 5, possibly 6 mass shootings within our communities. And within our communities, mass shootings to me is where there's 3 or more individuals that get shot at the same time, as well as 2 or more who end up getting murdered at the same time. Right now, I saw a case in Arkansas where an individual was responsible for killing a 3-year-old because of road rage. Once the authorities charged him with the murder, they also charged him with 2 acts. They charged him with committing 2 acts of terror. So I want to share this with the viewing audience so you can share this with your children. I believe that's going to happen in Chicago, where an individual that's responsible for senseless violence, they're going to tag him with a terrorist act. And once they do that, you pretty much don't have the same rights to a fair trial. Because once you become a terrorist, you lose all them different rights. The game change. I hear people saying there need to be stronger gun laws on the books. Well, the gun laws that's on the books, if they enforce them, they strong enough. What I mean by that, any ex-felon that get caught with a pistol, the federal government can take that case and give you federal time to the tune of 15 years just because you was an ex-felon with a weapon. The young individuals that got these guns and they're shooting these guns and you think you get away, there's no chance that you're going to be allowed to get past being caught with a weapon and you take probation. That means you're convicted. Caller, I see that you're on the line. Do you have a statement or a comment?
Yes, sir. Great show. Great show. I agree with you 100%. I may have just a little problem. When do you start changing the young boys, gangbangers, before or after they kill somebody? Because they don't care. They don't care about nothing. You can't go outside. I'm a veteran, Vietnam veteran, and I'm afraid of them more than I was when I was in Vietnam. You know, because they come up, boom, 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 boom. You can't go out your yard. You can't do anything. So I'm asking you. So what I'm asking you is, why doesn't the neighborhood start telling? Because, because stitches get stitches, or because they may get killed. And yet, they'll stay at home, don't say a word, and then when their son is killed, or daughter, or someone in their family is killed, they'll be in the streets crying. This has to stop. This has to stop. Thank you, sir. I like your answer.
Glad you said that. When Congressman Davis's grandson was murdered, myself and Andrew Holmes and some brothers from Inglewood Task Force, we had a press conference in Inglewood. And we let it be known that the individual who was responsible for that homicide, everyone knew who it was. And we put the call out to their parents. We all know who they are. We got their Facebook pictures, and we put it out through the community. And we let it be known that you should turn yourself in so that the marshals don't come kick your door in. Then, about 7 or 8 hours later, the individuals turned themselves in. I'm one of the ones that believe that a community got to come out together. You cannot protect an individual that's terrorizing your community. One of the things that I tell my children, if you're involved in senseless shootings and killings, raping women and children, disrespecting and robbing elders, I can't help you. This is what we all need to do. When I was coming up, there was individuals that told me that. The reason that Commissioner Jerry Butler, Congressman Danny Davis, Bobby Rush, Jesse White helped me is because they allowed me to make the decision to stop doing the wrong that I was doing. Caller, I see you. Caller, do you have a comment or a question?
Well, I guess I have a bit of both. I was listening to the radio the other day, and they were doing a report on why Chicago's violence rate is so much higher than other major cities. And one of the things that I heard was that those cities have a lot more detectives on the police force closing cases. And when cases get closed, people don't feel the need to take, justice into their own hands and get the person back because they're getting offenders off of the streets. Do you think that that's what's happening here, that, the violence is happening because the police aren't solving cases, so people are just taking justice into their own hands? Or do you think there's something else at play?
The one thing that's in play, the people in them other cities, they're coming out, they're going to court. You follow what I'm saying? Those that's here in this city refuse to come out and testify against the individual that has caused them harm. Okay? And therefore, the violence that's happening in our community is because they didn't tell on the individual. That individual feel like someday they may tell on them, and then they come back and shoot them again. I read in the paper where one individual on the west side had got shot, went to the hospital, and before he got back home, he was murdered. You follow what I'm saying? He had got shot twice in the same day. So what I am saying, we in our community got to testify against these individuals. You know who shot at your son or your daughter. And I'm seeing more young ladies get killed. Until we come out, the only way they can close the case is that they got witnesses to stand up and point that individual out and go to court. Thank you for calling. I see I have another caller. Caller, do you have a statement Or do you have a question?
Yes, I sure do. My name is Georgia. Good evening. What I'm questioning is this. I like something that you said, that when Trump gets into office, there is going to be everybody commit a murder or a crime is going to be known as a terrorist, and that way they would annihilate them, not continuously annihilate our young black men. And the mayor of Chicago, the policeman that he's putting on the force, you can count the blacks. And this has been going on for decades. This is not just a big surprise thing. It's not. More white policemen are on the force than it is blacks.
You know,
So true. That is so true.
caller, you 100% correct.
That's
One of
right.
the things I think we as a people in the city of Chicago need to let it be known that those officers have a right to do what's right, be they black, Hispanic, or white. But it's still going to come to the people stand up and saying, that's the one that terrorized, or that's the one that shot my baby. I'm hearing that he did it. One of the things that we do in the streets, run united in peace, if your name is ringing as being someone that was involved in the crime, we ask you to come and straighten your name out. Okay? You're a person of interest. One of the things I'm advocating and asking you, caller, and the rest of the viewers, demand that your alderman ask for a copy of that list that the superintendent has and break it down by zip code to see if the individuals that's on that list is in their respective wards. And then them aldermen have the right to inform their constituents of what's out here. What I mean by that, if you and I are neighbors and we don't know that our children have committed a crime because they're 18 or 19, if they get caught with a pistol, they don't have to tell us. If they shot someone and their friends came and bond them out, they don't have to tell us. But if we receive something that have both our children's name on the list, we can call our children and say, what are you beefing about? And stop the beefing. I appreciate you calling. I see I have another caller. Caller, do you have a statement or a question?
Yes, and good evening. Listen, the way that I look at it, we all got stories. We all got histories, and I know some of your history. Now, listen, from the difference from then to now, they stand on this now, and they do a lot of unnecessary shooting, as per se, back in the day. Um, See, you know how it used to be. Gang crime south and north was tough. I mean, they hung in you. They investigated it. Well, they disbanded that. But like you say, everyone in the neighborhood know you. Everyone in the neighborhood know who did something, and it's no different from then to now. If they find out, you know what they do. Now, again, we as people sometimes try to stay away from things. But again, let me tell you, you can't hang a button on yourself and talk to people about what you used to do and do now. See, some people don't have the backing to get out and talk to people and have a support behind them. You got some people, only person they're going to have is they self and Smith & Wesson. That's the only thing they're going to have on them. But again, I don't have the solution that will actually stop this.
You know,
Uh,
you know,
they,
caller, I agree with you. But you know what? This is just my opinion. The change in yesterday and now is that now we are the elders. Yesterday, we listened to our elders. And our elders, they'll tell us, I ain't in your business, but what you're doing gonna get you in a lot of trouble. Today, we say we can't tell them nothing. Well, I want to be on record to continue to do what I've been doing. I'm telling you young adults, they know everything that you're doing. With technology being what it is, they know when you're coming and going. What Snowden showed when he exposed the NSA is that the government know everything that's happening everywhere up under the guise of public safety for America. They got your names if you in them cliques. They gonna tag you if it's 3 or more. One of the 3 is gonna be a leader. They gonna make you a leader. They gonna expose the public to who you are. They gonna let the public know that we going at them because we telling you who they are. So don't send us a picture from his 8th grade graduation saying, "Not my baby," when it's your baby that's doing the shooting. Okay, we got to stand up. And once we stand up, then our children will see the importance of us not protecting anyone that's terrorizing the community. I mean, that's pure terrorism. Look up the word terrorism. You can't come out on your porch. You can't have a Christmas party without someone shooting up the party. 7 people get shot. 2 get killed. They're shooting up prayer visuals. They're shooting up before you get in the church and when you come out of a funeral. And then they come back out after they put it up on Facebook and walk through your community, our community. Again, I'm not talking about no vigilante activity. I'm just saying this. It's a minority of them that's creating all the problems for the majority of us. And we need to put their pictures out there. They put mine out there. They put Larry Hoover's name out there in picture. Jeff Ford's name in picture. A whole bunch of us. They put our pictures out there. And they say you either going to change or you're going to take the full weight of your responsibilities and we're going to hold you accountable for terrorizing the community. And that's what we have to do. It's pretty much on us. It takes all of us to be about this solution, to bring the violence down. Half of the young adults don't even know that there's consequences to their actions until they get caught up. And I know what I'm talking about because I receive a lot of calls from their parents when they get caught up and they end up in the county jail and they realize that there's no click boxes in the county jail. Out here, you may be a Stone and a Vice Lord and a GD and y'all working together. But when you get inside behind them walls, you're going to belong either through a GD, BD, Vice Lord, Stone organization. There is no click boxes there. The individual from behind the walls are saying that they in full support of being against those that are involved in senseless shootings and killings, raping women and children, disrespecting and robbing elders. And I'm like I said, all I'm doing is sharing the information to you on what's about to occur come January 21st. 2017. And it's not a doomsday message. This is a message of telling you you got a chance to change your life around because your name is on that list. And you're going to be receiving mail in the mail, having you to come and assemble somewhere to be allowed to change your life around and make yourself productive to the community. You know, and with that, I know I'm going to have to wrap it up shortly. I want to say this. One of the sayings that United Peace Inc. always says is, to God be the glory. If it wasn't for him, and this is how I feel, that gave Larry Hoover a vision to share with me and others, whether they were Gangster Disciples or Stones, it was all of us that came together. I'm one of the co-founders of United in Peace, okay? And I'm publicly letting the mayor know, letting the governor know, letting the president know, letting the alderman know. Any way I can help with this dialogue of sharing what I know that would help stop senseless shootings and killings in the city of Chicago, to make sure that come January 31st, I don't have to be in another march like I was January 31st, 2016, with Father Fagan, marching with 780 individuals who lost their lives carrying crosses down Michigan Avenue. With that, I want to share with you on how you can get in touch with me again. And that's United in Peace Inc. And the name of this show is the Bradley Report. And the web page is the BradleyReport.unitedinpeace.org. My email address is lagator, B for peace, at yahoo.com. And the phone number is 312-371-6914. Again, United in Peace, Inc. The name of this show is The Bradley Report. The web page is the BradleyReport.unitedinpeace.org. The email is lagator, that's L-A-G-A-T-O-R, the letter B as in boy, the number 4, the word peace, P-E-A-C-E, that's at yahoo.com. My phone number is 312-371-6914. Again, I'm Wallace Gator Bradley, and I'm the president of United in Peace. And thank you for listening to me and viewing me and calling in. To God be the glory.